Hey, peace, y'all. This is Night Santiago for Torchville.com. Welcome to Trust the Process. In this video, I start my journey in becoming a comic book artist. Now, I am an animator. I do a lot of character work and a lot of cartoony stuff, but I wanted to do some more Marvel DC influence style stuff, Todd McFarlane style stuff, and decided to create Torchville Comics. Why not? Got a goal? Let's do it. So follow along with me on this journey. Learn some things. I will be doing some voiceover work to tell you what I'm doing. Definitely have some tutorials, but this is the process, and this is what I went through with my first character, King the Mutant Hunter. Welcome to Trust the Process. Alright, so here we are using Photoshop, and as you can see, first I'm doing a skeleton, basically, and wrapping it around. And this is my first one of these videos, so the time lapse wasn't how I want it to be. I'm moving a little fast, but you guys get the gist. Just like the intro, everything's gonna get better as we go along. So I'm using a blue color, light blue color, as if I was drawing on paper. If I was using the Bristol paper, I'd be using a colored lead, light colored, either red lining or blue lining, just to get everything started. I'm not doing all the details here. I'm just emphasizing the main muscle groups. I'm learning. I'm still learning. I'm not the best artist there is, but I'm still learning. So this was actually a learning process for me. I've done digital art for a long time, but doing this comic book style is pretty new to me. I do a lot of vector art and cartooning, a lot of simpler stuff, but I did enjoy putting this together. It's fun. I have a lot of ideas, mainly write comedy stuff, but this comic book stuff is fun. So this guy, now you see, this would be the stage on paper that I would be grabbing my liners and starting the inking process. So I do all the lines. I really don't focus on the shading until the lines are done. So I'm trying to get the right expression for the face, and this is supposed to be an intimidating, tough guy. The story behind King the Mutant Hunter is he's jealous. He's jealous of mutants with powers. So he somehow constructed this suit to give him, I guess, mechanical superpowers. Science guy. I mean, I'm still building a background of him, which makes this process fun because I'm kind of building the story as I draw the character. And big shout out to my friend Jesus, who helped me put the backstory together, and so he'll probably be helping me with a lot of my stuff with Torchville Comics as far as writing is concerned. So now I'm lining and thickening the outlines on the hands and legs. There were many times through this process that I erased or deleted, or I even drew stuff on the wrong layer a few times, and I had to go back and redo it. So this actual character was about 3 days. Not 3 full days, so I'd say hours wise. Again, it's my first attempt, so there was a lot of things that I was drawing and then redrawing, and so I'd say about 10 hours probably. I move very slow too. There's times that I love the process and I trust the process, so sometimes I like to move slow. So right now I'm emphasizing the muscles and just locking down some of the thinner details in the shoulder triangles and the boots and the crown, the edges. So here I'm adding some rivets to give it a more steampunk look. It turned out that they're very small and you can't really see them when you zoom out into the full picture, but again, it's a learning curve. Next time will be better. I attempted some bigger rivets there, which I didn't like, so I deleted. And now here comes the shading. I enjoyed this part very much. Initially, I think it looks a mess, but as I get more blacks in there, more darks in there, it all comes together. It just makes all the sense in the world. It's fun. It was fun trying new things, attempting new things. So I wanted to shade out the whole body, and now I'm thickening the outer line, which I learned from watching James Reyes, who's incredible. I wish to be, as skillful as him one day. Look him up, James Reyes, the box office artist. So I'm still adding more details to the muscles, the abs here, and this leads. So the shadows lead to me adding some cross hatching, which was new to me. I've never used cross hatching. I've always shaded with color, with deeper colors and so on and so forth. But this was fun. This was a lot simpler as far as time wise, so I can see as I get used to it how I can do it faster. And I think the imperfections are what make it fun and exciting to do, because even though it's a digital art, I'm not using shapes. I'm not using the line tool much until I get to the end where you see I add a frame that I actually hold shift with Photoshop and drag through. But for the most part, I'm using the same size brush the entire time. I thickened up the brush size when I was doing the outline. Other than that, and I thickened up at times for the bigger black areas. But for the most part, I was using about a 5-point black brush. Again, this is Photoshop, and I'm using a Cintiq to draw this stuff. So a Wacom Cintiq. The feel is just great with a felt tip nib. Feels like I'm drawing on paper. I enjoy drawing on paper just as much as I enjoy drawing on digital. There are joys to both of them, and I've learned how to use both and not just be a digital or just be a paper art. I mean, it's fun. It's the art. Trust the process. So I'm adding more shadows onto the left arm now, and the chest plate. If you see, look close, the shadowing on the metal is different from the shadowing on the flesh. I added no cross hatching to any of the shadowing on the metal, because on metal, if you look at the reflection of metal, life observation, there's not much gradient there. A lot of metal, the shading is straight out and solid. On skin, there's more curves and more gradients in there. Doing the belt here now. Again, strictly blacks, no grays, all black. Now I'm doing the kneecap, and I changed this leg muscle several times. I looked at a lot of reference pictures of old Batman drawings and just other comic book stuff. A lot of reference. I don't think there's anything wrong with using reference. If it's a picture, listen, your approach to your art is your approach. At the end of the day, it's your process. Trust it and enjoy the final product. As we keep moving on with the shading, I'm doing the boots now, which are metal. Now I'm back on the gloves. My light source here was in the front, in front of the character, more towards the right, but definitely in the front. Upper right corner is what I pictured in my head the entire time. I'm sure there's shading elements in here that are not right, but who cares? This is my first attempt. Again, every time is going to be better. Practice makes perfect. I trust the process. I did this on an 11 by 17 canvas in Photoshop, so I'll be able to print it at that size. Cool thing is these black and white versions will be available for print, as will be available for download. So if there's any artist looking to practice some coloring, digital or physical, you will have the option on Torchville.com very soon to download all of my pieces as black and white. Or if you just want a copy of the piece's color, it will be available there exclusively. They will not be sold anywhere else but Torchville.com. So I'm thickening up the outline, and this leads to me doing the framing, which is coming up next. And I'm excited about this piece because it's going to lead me to my next piece, which I'm taking one of my friends and a partner in Torchville, Reef Hustle, and I'm turning him into a character in Torchville comics, which I'm looking forward to. He gave me a list of what he wants his abilities and powers to be. It's gonna be fun, so he will be a part of it. And again, guys, I'm writing this story now. If you got any suggestions, email me at nightsantiago@torchupnyc.com. So yeah, now I'm doing the framing. After I did this black background, I wanted to add some stars. So you'll see I take my erase brush and just dot out a bunch of stars on the top. I guess kind of like he's floating in space. Now that I think about it, I think had this not been my first piece or or I thought more into it, I would have given him a different background, but this is what I chose for now, and I think it was effective. But it tells a story, so I added the stars here with the erase tool in Photoshop, signed it, and now on to color. Now, color, I approached completely differently. I used very minimal brush strokes and mainly used the lasso tool, the selection tool, and gradient maps the entire way. And I did the skin, the metal, the gloves, everything that way, and then I added a gradient map at the end to the overall picture just to unify it and give it all a feel. So just enjoy the end of this. Looking at it now, I would have done a bunch of things differently, but again, as cliche as it may sound, what I'm doing here is trusting the process. Doing the gloves here, the color in the gloves. It's gonna get down to the boots, to the pants, and so on and so forth. So I'm gonna shut up from here on out. If you have any questions, comments, put them below. If you wanna hit me up directly, you could DM me on Instagram at Noches Nachos, or you can email me at Night Santiago at TorchupNYC. Look out for Torchville.com coming soon. Shout out to Reef Hustle. Shout out to Louis Legend. Talk to you guys soon. So here's the end of it. Enjoy.